What's up, everybody? My name is Ryan Turford, and it's Wednesday. You know what that means. It's another Zelda Let's Play on youtube.com/Ryan Turford. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at noon Eastern Time, we put up new Let's Plays, except for today where we were a little bit late. Sorry about that. Basically, we're doing the final dungeon in the Legend of Zelda for the NES. Basically, we're going to fight Ganon. It's going to be awesome. There we go. So basically, I went ahead and got all the rupees we needed, as well as the medicine, so you guys wouldn't have to see me go and grind for all that stuff all over again. Because, I mean, let's face it, who wants to watch me do that if we have to? So Gannons Castle, the first thing you'll notice right away is the music is very different from a lot of the other dungeons in this game. But the colors are very reminiscent of, like, Bowser's Castle even, or basically the, like, Dungeon 7 there. Or, sorry, Dungeon 8. So basically where those flames were, there's usually an old man when you come here who tells you basically, hey, you need all the areas of all the pieces of the Triforce first before you actually come here. And we have all the pieces of the Triforce, so we actually can just walk in, whereas normally he would just shoo us away. It's basically the game's way of telling us, look, don't come here just yet. Even though this game is pretty good about letting you do things sort of the way in the order that you want to. It always wants you to do this last, surprisingly. Also, thank God we have the stopwatch here, because this room can be kind of annoying if you don't have it. So we're going to throw a bomb down here. Now, you're going to see me do something that you're going to see me do a lot in this dungeon, and that is go down a passageway that leads somewhere else. Basically, the way this dungeon is structured, it is very much about exploring secret passages that bring you to different parts of the dungeon, because it's a big-ass dungeon. So you're going to see me run through this little phase a lot here with the bats, which is why you'll see me actually equip the boomerang a lot, despite the fact a lot of the enemies are actually immune to it that we fight in here, especially the wizards, because they're a pain to deal with on their own, let alone the fact that they're actually immune to the boomerang. Again, we're keeping our distance from these guys because they can actually eat our magic shield, which we sort of have to watch out for. Because we are going to need it for as long as we can possibly keep it in this dungeon, if not the whole time. Boom. So we got a rupee there. Now, normally you could just run through there if you really wanted to. We actually don't want to do that because we're actually going to need to come back to this room again. So we're going to actually go down here, and the reason for that is we're going to go to a separate room with more wizards that actually will drop the compass. Of course, I just stood there like an idiot. There we go. So, of course, we got the compass. A pretty cool room there, too, because it's really set up like the old man's room where it's just pitch black, but you can just walk straight through it, and you're not blind or anything. Alright, so we have a new type of mini-boss here. We're actually just going to skip right past him. No real reason to deal with him, because we're actually going to need to fight him actually in a second here. So we're going to bomb out this wall. We're not going to really deal with the ooze guys. For the most part, just like bats, there's no real reason to kill them unless we have to, since they don't actually drop any items for us. So once again, we got this guy. Basically, what we want to do is we want to kill all the little insects that fly around him, and then we kill him. The reason we kill the insects is because it doesn't actually let us hurt him unless we kill them. So unfortunately, we're not doing so well on hearts. We're doing so well, too, up until now, but this actually won't be a huge concern. The first part of this dungeon is probably where you take the most damage. So, for the most part, that's the reason why I'm more than willing to use a potion this early, if we have to, because later on in the dungeon, it will be a lot more difficult. We're going to take more damage now than later. And it's probably better to do it this way than to start over. No, no, no. So the bubbles in this room are really, really, really annoying, unfortunately. Especially with the combination of enemies here. The wizards themselves are annoying to deal with, but those other enemies can eat our shields, and we sort of have to watch out for there. So we're going to bomb this area up here, because we're actually going to kill a bunch of wizards in order to get one of the items that's really going to help us, which is why I'm actually a lot less worried about our health than I should be. So we're going to go through this stairwell. And again, it doesn't really matter if we get hit by these guys at this point. So we have gotten the red ring. So the red ring, what it does is it basically gives Link a red tunic. We move a little bit faster, but the main advantage to having it actually is reduced damage to our health when we get hit by half of what the blue ring actually does. So it's actually the damage reduction is actually quite significant. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to go all the way back to this room where we first found the first version of this mini boss. Now we could kill him, or we can totally just avoid him by doing that. Trust me, even though we lost 3 hearts there, it's way better than the alternative sometimes, which would be lose a lot more hearts. We'll actually have to fight him one more time, but it'll be a different variation of him that's actually a little bit easier to deal with. So once again, we got more wizards. As you can tell, though, we are taking a lot less damage from these guys. That's not to say that we can be totally flippant about the amount of damage we take, but we don't have to be like as worried about that as we were before. Alright, fuck off, bats. Alright, so here we got a bunch of oozes. They can be farmed a little bit for health. Unfortunately, they don't really come back if we do this. Okay, so what we want to do is we actually want to go through... I'm trying to remember. We want to go through this door first? Yeah, this door first. Now, there's a reason we're actually coming this way. It is to get a very, 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 very special item. One that we're really, really, really going to want. Of course, we're actually going to kill this guy. Again, he's a little bit easier to defeat because of the way his enemies are a little bit offset. Once we kill him once, though, we won't have to ever deal with him again. So that's one of the advantages of just getting him out of the way now. Come on. God damn it, he's just hanging around the middle area there. Alright, so there's a fairy. Let's grab the fairy. Boom. We hit them all with the boomerang. Alright, let's go up here. Alright. So what we want to do is we're going to want to go through these doors. I believe it's up here. Yeah. Alright, so once again, this room actually is a major pain in the ass, but thank God for that drop, because this room is a huge pain with the bubbles with these particular guys. Alright, so now what we can do is we can get the second item we really need to finish this dungeon, and really the last piece of our inventory that Link needs, and that is the Silver Arrow. So the Silver Arrow is actually very useful against Ganon. Basically, we can actually just use our regular arrows to kill Ganon. It's not a requirement to have the Silver Arrows, but instead of having to pump a bunch of arrows into him, we really have to only shoot him once with it, which is very, 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 very handy. Okay, so we can just walk through these bubbles. It almost doesn't even matter. Now we're going to want to go back this way. Alright, so we've already killed the enemy that's here, so that's great. We don't need to deal with it anymore. So we've got this staircase as well. This mysterious staircase that we're actually going to want to go down. So once again, we got these really, really fast enemies. We can just use our key to walk right through this door. If we can actually walk onto the goddamn pixels as to where it is. So again, for the most part, we can actually just walk straight through there. So now we're back in this area. And then we're going to want to sort of avoid getting hit by some these bubbles. Alright, so now what we're going to want to do is we're actually going to want to go up here, I believe. Harda has the map. Very, very, very exciting. Alright, so we are actually going to go back this way. Again, we got the same bats we fought before. Alright, so basically if we go into the door that's up at the top, it will actually lead us in a complete circle, and we do not want to go there. Because it basically will not actually get us to the end of the game. There we go. As far as I know, we didn't lose our magic shield, of course. We're actually getting pretty close to the end, so we actually don't need to worry too much about that. Okay, we're immediately going to want to fire off our red candle here to illuminate the area, just so we can sort of walk straight around these guys. Again, we're going to kill them basically for hearts, of course, if we can actually get any drops, that is. There we go. We don't really need rupees again unless we have to leave, but we're actually doing pretty good for health, so. And yes, we actually just double killed the wizards there. By the way, the wizards are probably my least favorite enemies in this entire game. I hate them so much. Okay, so once again, we got more wizards in this room. We actually have to kill all of them in order to get where we need to go. Alright, so we gotta activate this trap and quickly run through those stairs. Again, we got more bats. They're a bat of a pain. Alright, that was a really bad bat pun. But did you just see that trick shot? So awesome. I know, I'm that awesome. What can I say? Of course, we are going to try and avoid these traps like the plague, because we hate the traps. So we're going to run through this door. And once again, another staircase with a bunch of easier enemies to kill, but of course, made even more annoying because we got the bubbles. But thank God for the stopwatch. So we got yet another staircase. We're going to equip the boomerangs again, kill some more of these bats. Alright, so once again, we got another one of these guys. Realistically, the last one we're actually going to have to ever fight. Because that door up there leads straight to Ganon. So we are going to basically kill this dude. I will have the the blue potion equipped, so that when we fight Ganon, we will basically be rest assured that we will be able to beat him. Of course, I'm not going to want to hit B accidentally here. So, of course, we use the Triforce here to reveal Ganon's location. So basically what we do, the object of this is we have to try and stab him when he's invisible. Of course, him being invisible is kind of annoying. And you can actually step on any of the black sections here. They're not pits or anything. Boom. So we used our last potion. Again, we have this much health, so we actually should be totally fine to beat him. So now we're going to equip the bow and arrow. We don't need it just yet, but it'll be useful in just a second. There we go. And one more should do it. Boom! So we have defeated Ganon, and we have gotten the final Triforce Piece. So now we can actually go into this room, where Princess Zelda is held captive. We destroy all the flames with our sword, and then, boom! We have saved Princess Zelda. Thank God. Thank you, Link. You're the hero of Hyrule. And of course, they both hold up the Triforce pieces and defeat Ganon. Finally, peace returns to Hyrule. The end. Thank God. Ladies and gentlemen, I have finally defeated the Legend of Zelda. First time ever beating this game, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. So, anyways, I'm going to sort of drop off the ending here. But I want to say thanks again for watching. If you like this video, like, subscribe, share with all your friends, all that good stuff. Also, you can find me on Twitter at Ryan Turford. That's Turford. You can also find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Ryan Turford. Again, new Let's Plays every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, noon Eastern Time. Unfortunately, with today, I apologize for being a little bit late today. Again, I'm Ryan Turford, and you've been watching this video right here on youtube.com/Ryan Turford.